Okay, we're bringing in the meat now. We're playing with the Krogan Soldier. These guys are boss. They absolutely are. Krogan Soldier's great too. There's a lot of fantastic ways to play this guy. I'm going to be bringing you a melee build, but I'm going to sort of bring up other ways to play him too while we're here, because they are really all fantastic. For my melee build, what I'm going to recommend is you take fortification up to this first evolution and get the durability. I know melee damage is good, but the melee damage with fortification, the way it works is you actually have to switch on fortification and then take fortification off, and then for a few seconds after it's come off, you've got a big melee boost, which is going to really help you sort of get the ball rolling. But I just found that a bit kind of cumbersome, and I was able to get the ball rolling without it. I kind of prefer the durability, because with my melee build I am obviously right in the thick of it, so I go for the extra damage protection there, and now I've got a damage reduction of 30% from the start. Carnage is going to be my bread and butter with my fist. Okay, I'm going to basically hit something with Carnage and then I'm just going to punch it. That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for the most part of this game. For Carnage, I'm going to recommend damage, recharge speed, and then damage. You could go for radius. Obviously that's going to stagger more enemies, but you can only punch one enemy at a time with the Krogan, so it's really not going to make do having staggering multiple enemies. And you don't want to incapacitate, because that actually hits the enemy to the floor, which is going to just throw off your melee attack. And armor damage is all good and everything, but that's just 65% increase to armor, whereas you can have 50% increase to damage to everything. So I think you're really better off just going with damage on Carnage. Carnage is an otherwise kind of forgettable power, to be honest, but it is going to just help line up our targets for us. Taking Inferno grenades as well. These are amazing grenades. They're going to help us kill our bosses, and we can rip through a group of enemies with these as well. For Inferno grenades, I'm going to recommend damage, and then we're going to go armor damage. That's going to chew through armor like crazy. It does 303.75 damage per second, and it lasts for 8 seconds. And it stacks. I can throw multiple Inferno grenades in, and they're just all going to build up, and they're just going to eat away at all the armor targets. There's a default radius of 5 meters, so I really don't recommend getting any larger than that. You don't need an extra Inferno grenades. You're always going to be better off just going for all that damage. And with the radius and shrapnel, the shrapnel evolution, well, the shrapnel part of this evolution is bugged from what I've read. I mean, the radius is always nice. It is a really big boost in radius, and I think if you went for both radiuses, you can have like a 9-meter Inferno grenade, and there's just nothing that's going to escape that if you throw that out. But you actually do see it if you take the evolution, because I think when I first got this game I picked radius and shrapnel. That was the way I always used to play with grenades, is just radius. But then I was playing on the lower difficulties and that was helping me kill everything. But now I need more damage behind what I'm doing. But anyway, sorry, I'm going off track. The shrapnel evolution doesn't work. Basically you'll see when you throw the Inferno grenade, you'll see a sort of cluster come off the initial explosion and then hit the floor, and then that's going to start, and then that spreads another sort of, because when Inferno grenades, it's like a Molotov cocktail. It hits the floor and then it just sort of does a big and then it just sets that radius of a floor on fire, and any enemy caught in it is what's going to burn. And then shrapnel's supposed to make another bit break off and then create another equal radius, but apparently that bit that breaks off doesn't work, or doesn't do any damage, or doesn't appear. From what I hear, it just doesn't work, the shrapnel part, but you do get the extra radius, which you could go for, but I'm still going to recommend damage, armor damage. For the Krogan Berserker, I'm going to take damage and capacity. This is obviously going to improve the damage of my grenades and my Carnage power, sorry. But what I'm really going for is the capacity. This is going to help me use Carnage more frequently. I'm going to be able to take a heavier weapon, and I'm just going to be able to spam Carnage as much as I need to. So that's going to be really helpful for me. We're not going to be shooting a lot. I'm only going to be shooting boss enemies, and the rest we're going to be punching. So let's look into rage. I'm going to recommend you get some durability for the first evolution, because like we are in the thick of it, so we need some. I did try going for melee damage before. It's good. I mean, you get the 30% damage increase, and then you get another 30 increase when you go into rage mode. But you do want some kind of durability in there, and that means you're going to have to take Fitness Expert at the end then, which means you're going to have to hit 3 targets before you go into Rage Mode, and I'm sorry, Rage Mode is far too important on a melee Krogan. It really is, it's vital. I recommend you get it as soon as possible and try and keep it as much as you can. For that, obviously, on that spirit, I'm going to recommend the next evolution be Martial Artist. This obviously increases your melee damage by 75% after you've killed an enemy with heavy melee, and that's pretty much what we're going to be doing to every enemy that isn't an armoured target, and a big armoured target as well. And then finally, we're going to go for Pure Rage. This basically decreases the number of melee kills you need to get by 2 to trigger Rage Mode. Rage Mode gives you a damage reduction and a melee bonus, melee damage bonus as well. So we've got 25% damage reduction, and I got 50% increase to my melee damage when I'm in rage. So that's just everything we need to do what we're going to do. So I recommend having Pure Rage over going for Fitness Expert and going for the melee damage. It was incredible. I was surprised just how different it was. I thought, oh my god, that's going to give me... I think if you take melee damage and go with Fitness Expert, in Rage Mode you've got like an 80% increase to your melee damage. I thought that's going to be incredible. I could just wreck everything and never lose Rage Mode. I did. I did lose Rage Mode. I was out of Rage Mode a lot more when I had all the extra melee damage. So Rage Mode is too important. It really is. Before I move on, I really want to talk about some of the other ways to play this character. As a soldier, you can obviously just be a weapons platform with him, and you can tank with the Krogan. They got great health and shields. I mean, with my melee build now, I got 1,163 health, and I got 1,550 shields, okay? He's a tank, and that's I can put fortification on top of that, and have rage mode, and have all this damage reduction. It's really great. But obviously, you can fully spec out fortifications. You can get durability, and you can take recharge speed of your shields, and then you can take durability again, and then you got some incredible damage reduction. What is that? That's 40% damage reduction if you go that way, with your shields just coming back constantly. You could you could skip out to Carnage if you like, and then obviously spec out Inferno Grenades the same way. And then for your Krogan Berserker, you could go weapon damage, power damage to help with your grenades, and then more weapon damage. And then you can go full fitness with this guy, and you're going to have incredible health if you do that. And then basically you're a weapons platform, then you're just this tank. You can just chuck out Inferno Grenades, burn through armor, and just shoot up everything, and everything's going to struggle to take you out because you've got so much health, just so much health. Then you can also be a caster. You can be a caster soldier with the Krogan as well. You could go back into fortification again. We'll go into this. You can go for durability. Then you can go for power synergy. This increases your power damage and force by 30%. So that's going to help our grenades do some incredible damage. And you can go for power recharge, but I probably still would recommend durability again on the caster build. You'd only need to put 3 points into Carnage because you only need it to detonate. You don't need it to. You're going to be using Carnage for for doing the killing. This is just for detonating, because Inferno Grenades set up fire explosions. Okay, you can either go with the huge radius one I spoke of earlier, or stick to what I'm telling you. I still think it's the best way to use your Inferno Grenades. And then basically what you can do, you can just run around, throw an Inferno Grenade out in Carnage, and there's fire explosions all over the place. Obviously then you would go with damaging capacity and power damage. You could probably just leave out the 6th evolution and have full fitness again then. And then there you are. There's just 3 really great ways to play the Krogan Soldier. But the Krogan are handsy, and I'm gonna punch. We're gonna run out and we're gonna do some thumping on the battlefield of this Krogan. Okay then, weapons. I'm going to take something that's going to really help me chew through armor, so I'm going to go with the Harrier. I'm going to stick on the extended barrel, so I'm doing some nice damage with it, and then I'm going to go with the Omni Blade as well, so increase my melee damage by 25% as long as I got this thing in my hands. So that's going to work really well. But that's basically what I'm going to recommend for my melee build, even with the weapon build, to be honest. Weapon build as well, just really want stuff that's going to help you chew through armor. You can take 2 guns with the weapon build. You can probably take the Harrier and a nice shotgun then, so you can take on ranged targets, you can take on up close targets as well then, because you really don't need to worry about your recharge speed when when grenades don't have one, and you only need carnage to detonate your fire explosions and stuff. So yeah, you can go with 2 guns on the Krogan Soldier. If you're going to be the caster one, though, you'd probably go with like the Hurricane and stuff like that. You know, you can go Hurricane, Collector, SMG, just so you're really light. But even then, it's like I was talking about with my Drell Adept. Obviously, grenades don't have a recharge speed, and Carnage hasn't got a great recharge speed, but it's not terrible. So you could go with something like the Wraith and the Raider. The Raider is something else I'd recommend for my melee build as well, although this would it does slow it down. You're going to have to really line up your melees more if you haven't got Carnage, which that itself slows down the game, but it is all just about chewing through armor. So, you know, you can go Claymore as well, because that does it fantastically. But the Piranha's going to work on your caster build as well, and it's going to work really well on this melee build because it's incredibly light. And obviously you can actually put on that awesome Omni Blade attachment for the shotguns, which actually does 50% melee damage, so that's really good. But no, I'm going to just stick with the Harrier. That's all I'm going to need to take out boss targets, and because the boss targets are normally going to be the nasty ones that sync kill me, so I can keep my distance when I'm doing that as well. Krogans don't have an evasive move, so it is good to be careful around those enemies. For the equipment, I'm going to recommend armor drill ammo. Again, because the only time I'm going to be shooting is to kill the bosses, so that's going to help me chew through them. Obviously, I could go with elemental ammo if I was going with more of a caster character, so it's just all that damage over the time, especially if I went with incendiary ammo and stuff like that. That's really just going to eat away with the Inferno grenade, so there's just so much damage over time happening there. You know, you will just melt everything. You can go with cryo as well. This is an opportunity to start using up this stuff. The reason I don't love cryo is it doesn't give you any extra damage. It's one of the few. Basically, your weapons damage is all that's coming out, and then you're just weakening armor. But that's what's going to be good with this. Obviously, if you weaken armor and you've got the Inferno grenades on top, you're really going to chew through them quite efficiently. For the weapon bonus, I'm going to take the Strength Enhancer. If you're going with any of the other ones, obviously you take the appropriate rail amp, but this is my melee character, so I'm taking the Strength Enhancer 3 for a nice boost in melee damage. For the armor bonus, I would recommend a Cyclonic Modulator. We're really in the thick of it, so tank as much as possible. This works for all of them, to be honest. Like I said, he's got incredible health, so if you can boost that by with the Cyclonic Modulator 4, 150% boost, so it's incredible. Massive amount of health. Casters can obviously go with the Power Amplifier as well, you know how that's going to work out for you. But it would help to have the Adrenaline module on your Krogan as well, so if you've got that extra maneuverability, it's going to help you, that's going to make up for your lack of an evasive move. Help you survive out there. Now there's a ton of gears we can go through, and I'll attempt to just sort of do it now because I've thrown you 3 different builds, but ultimately this is a melee build video. But obviously you can go with the assault loadout if you're going with the caster character. Even with the soldier character, that's going to work out nice for you. What else have we got here? Berserker package, if you went with a shotgun on your Krogan and you were doing the melee build that I'm doing. Let's have a look. Grenade capacities is a must if you're going for the caster build, so you can spam them, kind of like how I was working the Drell Adept in my last video. What else have we got? Hydraulic joints, that's obviously going to be great for my melee build as well. That's a 20% increase to melee damage. What else? It's hard to do this off the top of my head. Mental focuser. Yeah, mental focuser is going to help the power build. That's power damage increase in it. You've got shock trooper. That's obviously that's the extra grenades, and if you went with a shotgun, so that's going to work for the soldier and the caster. If you went for like the piranha on the caster build, and there's warfighter as well. That's gonna, obviously if I'm using the harrier, you could do that with your soldier, so you can have that. You can even do it with the caster, to be honest. Obviously you can tank as well. You really can. You just be incredibly tanky by taking survivor loadout, stronghold package, and shield boost. But what I'm going to be using is the juggernaut shields. Okay, the juggernaut shields is going to give me a shield strength by 20% and melee damage buff by 12%. This is going to be everything I need. And now I think I've covered a lot of ground here. It's time to get some focus on. We're going to jump into the gameplay and I'm going to show you my melee build in action. Right, sorry to bombard you with information there. Let's take it out on some monsters. I'm playing with Dom and Myth again, and Unglued Poet is a friend of Myth's, I believe. Myth is the host, and he's picked Rio. God, I hate Rio. It's a terrible map. But everyone's working on the weekend challenge tribute. I've already done the Avenger part. I did it earlier with the guys, and I did a huge chunk of the Inferno Grenade part with a couple of pugs when I first jumped on, and I figured, I can just finish it up with my Krogan here and record the video at the same time. Anyway, Miss picked Rio because there's so many grenades on this map. There's loads of place to grab the grenades. Problem with Rio though is it's just massive. It's far too big for 4 players. There you go. That was me showing you how to get rid of your missiles with characters whose melee don't cut it. You can just climb a ladder when you're switching back to your gun from your missiles instead. I do suffer a bit of lag with Myth and Dom. It's not too bad actually. They're only in Europe, where I am, but a different part of Europe. Yeah, but Rio's just massive. I mean, this map is far too big for just 4 players, to be honest. Usually half of the map just becomes redundant. You don't even see it. You're more than happy just working one side. That's crazy like that. The Marauder had jumped down, but I still managed to smash him in the back of the neck from a different height. Yeah, but there you go. It's nice when it works in your favour. Yeah, and the objectives on Rio though, they're a pain. They normally force you to go from one end of the map to the other, carrying an object, or walking with those stupid escort drones. It's quite monotonous. I really don't like Rio. It's also infamous for its box of shame at the back there. Husks are a pain. They just that grapple of theirs just cancels anything. You can literally have your foot in their mouth and they're still going to stop everything just so they can wrestle with you for a bit. It's quite frustrating. Yeah, the box of shame at the back. There's, like I was saying before, it's so many ammo boxes on here. You just we take 2 demolishes back there, and you've just got an infinite supply of grenades. You just bomb every enemy that slowly waltzes at you, and that Marauder went flying. Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again. But yeah, this is, as I said, I put the fortification on straight away. I haven't bothered to go with the melee evolution of it, so I never need to take it off. I've just got a nice durability. And then basically I just run up, I carnage the enemy, and then I heavy melee it. The Krogan heavy melees can be tricky sometimes. You'll just sort of swing round them. It's like it's so easy to go off course with the Krogan heavy melee. It's quite irritating. It lacks a sort of the lock-on feature that you get with like the Batarians heavy melee and stuff like that. It can really leave you. It can really just get you killed. Actually, you literally just sort of come in contact with the enemy, but you just sort of slip round them, and then they're just behind you, hitting you then. But Carnage basically staggers them, puts them in one spot, and then I've just got a really clear hit then. I can just take a good swing. Obviously enemies doing stupid stuff like that, I can just knock out the way. Yes. Look, I meleeed him. I should have staggered in the headbutt, but I don't know if it was lag that got in the way, but his grapple's going to stop everything. And look, that fist was already on the husk. Just cancelled it. So that's 2 bloody wrestling matches I had to have for those stupid things. I've got so much health and durability, right, damage reduction right now, though it really isn't an issue. Now, you'll see that the colours have sort of slunk back to normal now. I was in rage mode for a while then. Basically, once I get 2 melee kills, my Krogan gives off a chuckle and everything goes bright and bloody. That is rage mode. Rage mode gives me my damage reduction and my melee damage bonus. It's everything I need for this build, and it's really helped. As long as I keep getting melee kills in rage mode, I'll stay in it. But if I lose, I'm gonna have to get 2 melee kills again, and I'm back in now. See, everything's gone right again. It can be quite blinding on some maps, range mode, but what are you gonna do, eh? It'd be nice if rage mode gave you some sort of health regeneration like the Bwnci had. I mean, in the lore of Mass Effect, Krogan are always spoken about having health regeneration powers, but they just never got it. I don't think anybody had an issue, though, until the Bwnci showed up and showed everyone that it can be put into the game. But yeah, they've just got such incredible health, you get over it. Now you might have seen now the Banshees and stuff are showing up. You'll notice how I'm going to take on the armor targets. I throw my Inferno grenades. I'll throw 2 at Banshees, they're really quite durable. So they're just going to stack. And then I throw in a Carnage and I get the fire explosion then. That's a point actually, I said when I was talking about my power build for the Krogan. I said you just put 3 points in Carnage. You probably would want Radius on your Carnage actually, so you can just get multiple fire explosions for huge damage. Probably can lose one of the durability evolutions then in your fortification, or even on your health. Whatever works best for you. That's what you got to do. It's all just have a go, see what works for you. Like I said, I tried two different ways to the melee build, and I'm still happier with my pure rage. See, and obviously I'm keeping my distance from the Bwnci when she's teleporting, and I can do that with the harrier and still do really, really good damage because it's a boss assault rifle. Best gun in the game, really. It's just so powerful, so very effective on everybody. But everybody else I'm going to take on. I really am. I'm just going to smash them up. And even when the Banshee starts casting her powers, I'm going to start punching her too. But yeah, see, she gets too close. I could fight on the stage, but I just thought I'd back up. Now she's in cast mode, and you'll see me go right in there. Unfortunately, her and the Phantom's little barrier thing blocks melee damage. That is annoying. It's really annoying. There's no reason why it should do that, but it does. You can shoot them, but you can't melee them. But I go for it anyway. Sometimes I get through. Just gigantic. Normally, I'll just stay in the crate area of the map, to be honest. That's the half of the map that's the most interesting. The other half is just far too open, to be honest, and awkward to get around. Seriously, if the map was stopped here at this control tower thing, I think it'd be better. I think if it was just this big.
Enemy force approaching. Got him.
See, the Ravengers, their goo can be quite nasty, so I don't want to be... If you get right up close to the Ravenger, they're going to empty their sacks, and you're going to be spending more time than you want in their goo, so I will do a fire explosion on them before I run in to punch them. Just so they're near death by the time I get in. Normally my melee finishes them off if they're not dead already. I think the boys are all using Avengers as well. They're still doing that half of the... they're trying to do it at the same time. I didn't take that approach. I did them one after the other. I did the Avenger. Well, actually, I went for the Inferno Grenades first with my Krogan Soldier. He's a great character. I will have a build for him soon. Yeah, so I just went with Inferno Grenades with some pugs. I jumped it. I think I would have finished Inferno Grenades in one game if I didn't... quick match always just... I never see lobbies when I go into quick match. They always stick me in the middle of the game. It's really annoying. So yeah, I got like 90% of that mission done with my Bwnci Soldier, and I joined a game on wave 5. And then I played some games with Dom and everybody, and I just took out the Turing Ghost of the Avenger, got that done in one game, and I'm going to finish off the Inferno Grenade mission on in this game. Actually, you'll see it pop up, the weekend challenge thing. I got a Crusader. Yeah. Fucking Crusader. But yeah, okay, that's something to mention as well, the weekend challenge tribute. Obviously yesterday, what's the date today, so I can give you some sort of reference. It's the 23rd of Feb today. So yesterday they announced the final DLC for Mass Effect 3, both single and multiplayer. So that's very exciting. Single player looks like it's going to be a nice goodbye. It's going to be a farewell. It's going to give us an opportunity to play with. There's some characters that we didn't really get to play with in the normal story mode. You know, you just sort of had a dialogue with them or a mission with them where they were just in the background. But I think now we're really going to have a chance to fight alongside them again, which is going to be awesome. Because Rex is my bro, man. I love Rex. And obviously there's the multiplayer DLC. This is what we're playing now. There's going to be some new characters, maps, guns, equipment, mods, all that kind of good stuff's coming. Yeah, so that's going to be exciting. It's coming out a lot sooner than I thought it is. There's no way I'm going to get all my builds out before that DLC comes out. I haven't got enough time in the week. There's just not enough time in my days either. I got a job and everything, so I tried. I thought if it were, because there was a rumour got floating around that they were going to release it for the 1 year anniversary of Mass Effect, which that would have been hard for me to do. But it's coming out. The DLC is coming out next week, next Tuesday, and there's just no way I'm going to get all my builds out in time. What I'll probably end up doing, there's the weekend challenge done. What I'm going to probably end up doing is just jumping into the new stuff, and then I'll come back and show you my old stuff, because that's what people want to see. I know I've jumped into this whole video guide stuff quite late. The game is like almost a year old, and I'm only just getting into it now. I'm pretty sure most people have either lost interest or they're very aware of what I'm doing. The only reason I've decided to get into it is because I actually play with a lot of people that ask me a lot of questions about how I play the game. They see me running around and they're like, oh, how do you do this, how do you do that, and I'll give them tricks. It's like, how are you getting away with that? And I got tricks and stuff to teach them. So I just figured, what the hell, I can just go global and I can share my tricks with everybody with a video guide. But no, I'm going to sort of capitalise on the last big, you know, what words am I looking for here? I just want to capitalise on the last bit of fame that this game's going to have. You know, the last bit of public interest is going to be in this DLC. So I'm going to get the new stuff out, and then I'll probably just come back and do the rest of my builds, because they're all good. they are good. I'm going to pat my own back there. They are all really good builds, actually, very effective, very fun. But yeah, I mean, well, we got what did they announce? There's a Krogan with a biotic hammer. that's just hilarious on paper. He's got to be fun. I'll be very surprised if he's not a good character. Don't know if the hammer's going to be a power or a melee attack. You know, like you got with these shadows, got swords and everything. See how we'll see what that's going to be like. There's a Geth Juggernaut. That could be anything, to be honest. The only Geth... hang on, I'll come back to it. Obviously the guys haven't finished the weekend challenge, they're going to ask me to milk, so I'm going to try and get the drone here and then leave it, but unfortunately Poet's going to stand there and actually finish the objective. The guys were quite upset about that. I was planning on milking it with them, but that's why I ran out right at the Escort, right at the end. I was going to just leave it at LZ, so then after the time was up, we could just run in and finish it off in a second then, but Poet didn't get out fast enough, and it got finished. Yeah, but basically the Geth Juggernaut, it's like the only classes the Geth haven't been in now are biotic classes, or semi-biotic at least, and I kind of hope BioWare haven't caved to there's some stupid fan requests, and a lot of people want to see biotic Geth, and it's like, no. Yes, of course you can explain it lore-wise. It's really not the issue. It's never really an issue. It's the same with getting Protheans in the multiplayer that a lot of people are asking for. It was never an issue of lore. And the lore can be rewritten by the original creator when and however he wants. It's all fiction in it. But it's the integrity of it that gets ruined when you do stuff like that. I mean, yes, you can say that they've got an element 0 core and they're able to touch into the Mass Effect, but Jesus, they're synthetics and it's called biotics, you know, biology, you know, let's try and have some integrity with what we're doing. So I kind of hope the Juggernaut's not some kind of biotic Geth, and I'm really glad there's no Protheans, because that would have just cheapened the From Ashes DLC. That would have just killed it, to be honest. I mean, how can you tell if, you know, the heart-wrenching tale of the last of somebody's species, and when it turns out there's just a lab full of them around the corner that we didn't know about? No, stupid. Don't. That would have been a really crappy thing to do. I went in for the punch there with the Bwnci, so I whipped out my missiles just in case she stuck around. That's not wise what I did there. That was not a wise choice. I'm gonna get grabbed a lot in this game. 2, not my fault. That's just the Bwnci being the Bwnci, and then the last one, yeah, I kind of deserve it. But I'm gonna get the 2 that were cheap. I'm gonna get away with. It's quite funny. It's the risk you take with melee and Vanguard sort of characters when you're up that close with enemies that can do that. I'm gonna nod to the really bright sun there. It's a shame that Krogan melee really isn't the best melee in the game. Actually, there's some better melee characters, unfortunately, but it's still really cool. It's fun. I think it's one of the most fun melees. Actually, it's the most satisfying to just see there. She just came out of nowhere, grabbed me, but the Marauder's going to gun me down before she's able to gut me, so I can actually melee now, which I'm going to do. Get back in the game. Yeah, just you know, charging the enemy and then sending them flying with your fist. Yeah, very satisfying gameplay, and still very effective. Obviously, it's like the Batarian's got the most powerful melee, but it is slow. But it gives you a massive damage reduction, so that kind of just all balances out and works out great. And then you've got there's just so many good melee characters now. It's like the Shadow and stuff with this sword that just decapitates stuff, and the Krogans just aren't the strongest melee. They just aren't. Doesn't mean it's a bad melee. Don't get that wrong. But it's gonna squash me. I was just stood in goo while he smashed me, so there was just too much damage there, even with all my health and shields. I mean, you can see I've taken a lot of punishment in this game, and I can, but there are boundaries. Start talking a bit more about this map. Obviously that spot I just nuked is a big spawn point. Right at the back as well, they'll spawn there too. Where the box of shame is, there's a few... quite hard to explain. I don't know if I'm going to go there in the gameplay, that's why I'm trying to kind of push. I'll try and call them out. I'll stick to what I normally do. I'm going to try and call them out when I see them. Here's another cheap one. I'm going to go for the grab. She's going to turn up behind me. Sync kill me. But then I'm going to be thrown off the map. Or dropped off the map. And I'm back, baby. I'm back in the game. Oh, I was laughing my ass off when I got away with that. There's another Marauder behind me that was doing quite a bit of heavy firepower then with that brute coming in and smacking me, so I'm going to have to try and butt my way out of this situation. I need to take out that Marauder because he's got the range that I need to stop, and then I can just sort of take out the brute then. You need to pick your enemies, you really do need to pick and choose your fights. Boom. We charge at each other. One shall rise, the other shall fall. God, I'm geeking out. Right, here's going to be another big spawn right at the back here. They'll also spawn on the very opposite side, on the left, in the big bundle there. The guys kicked off then. I had forgotten that they were still trying to milk it, and obviously me nuking spawns means there's less enemies for them to gun down. I was apologetic at the time. Oh, this is the Bwnci that's going to just get me. She went full circle and she got me. She escaped the missile. So I'm dead this game. But yeah, the guys were they were cursing me out for nuking the spawns, taking away their potential points in Avengers and Inferno Grenades. Apologetic at the time, but I remember now that I was trying to get this footage yesterday, and they were just trolling me hard. They were using Lash and Stasis characters to completely mess up the Krogan melee. So I'm not sorry. You guys, that's what you get. Dom and Myth. Turns out, I think it's a Dutch thing to just be incredibly trolly. They were literally just dedicated to ruining the video yesterday, so there you go. Thanks to that missile from Myth, they're going to just clear up this wave quite quickly, so you know I'm not going to be out of commission for too long now. I'm just going to take quite sleek cover here, just slip away from the Rampage's fire, finish him off. I think that's the coolest thing I've ever seen Dom do. A nice little throw there, and that's the wave. I'm back. I believe the enemy spawned down there, in between those two ladders here. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I don't come to this side of the map too often. I think there's a big spawn there. We got this upload. This is the worst. This is a terrible place to defend. Pugs frequently think this is a good place to defend on this map. No, you're just surrounded here. This is the centre of the map. Enemies can come from all around you, and this makes it the worst upload in the map as well. But we're going to do fine. Basically, if you get the upload with the Reapers on wave 10, you basically want to nuke the two Banshees that come when they come in. Otherwise, they're going to just drive you out and slow up the mission. So I'm just going to call out my rockets and say I'm going to take out these Banshees every time two of them flood in. Literally, all the crate maze on that end is really the best place to defend in this map. You've just got a ton of cover. Screaming to miss now. Watch out, she's right behind you. Then the other one floods in, so it's rocket time. Boom. Yeah, but yeah, really effective fire explosions as well. Really quick for me to get them out. Just Inferno Grenade and Carnage. So I can take on all comers really. I've got my fist for mooks and stuff. Weird bug there. I pulled out my rockets. I pressed shoot, and for some reason he put his rockets away again. So it was quite fortunate that he got shot up by that marauder, because I wouldn't have been able to save him in time, which is what I was intending to do. So that's the upload done. So now we're just gonna clean up here. But the brute. Yeah, the headbutt's the Krogan light melee, in case you're unaware. And then he's got the charge for his heavy melee. Yeah, see, all the damage over time of the Inferno Grenades basically just forces the Banshee to stop teleporting and start casting powers, and then that's when I can charge in and start punching her and all that kind of good stuff. Like I've preached before, it's about knowing when your sync kill enemies can sync kill, and that's basically how you can deal with anybody. Then when you know the mechanics. Right, let's see if I got an opportunity. Right, over in that corner that I was facing in, there's another space right in that corner, in that direction. That's another big spawn point. The enemy will spawn there, and there's also the stairs there on the left. They will all spawn at the bottom there of that staircase to the centre. I don't know what Dom was doing out there, but he's got himself sink killed. This is the best place to defend. This is why the Box of Shame exists for platinum farming. It is you've got great ammo here, and you've got plenty of escape routes and everything right at the back here. For extraction wave, I recommend that you sort of stand here before it starts, so that the enemy can't spawn here with you, and they're forced to just sort of trek from the other side of the map at you. It takes the enemy a while to get here. So you just it's really easy, and once you've kited them here, running to LZ then is just normally as clear as a bell. I don't like Rio though. I'm kind of happy that Myth picked it, so I've just got this map done now. I don't have to worry about showing you it for another character. The enemy spawn around there. I think I showed you that. That was the corner I was talking about, and there's the bottom of the stair spawn I was telling you about too. This is a tricky map to control spawns for, just because of its ginormous size. There it is. We're going to make a break for LZ now. 25 seconds on the clock. And now the enemy are literally going to have to travel from all of the other side of the map to get to us now. We're only going to have to deal with the Banshees because they move so fast. And that's this done then. So yeah, that's DLC news. Multiple Krogan builds, Krogan melee play, gameplay, and I think I covered a lot of ground there. I hope you were able to enjoy the video, and you know, if I was able to give you the news on the DLC, you're welcome. But I'm pretty sure most people who are interested in the DLC have found out about it. But there you go. We're back on the engineers for the next video, so I'll see you then. Take care, guys.